Hi, and welcome back to my channel. If you're just tuning in, if you're just stopping by, hi, I'm Farmy Julie, and on this channel we talk about how you can make money from your farm, easy ways you can market your farm produce, value addition, agro processing, little agribusiness you can start from the comfort of your home with little or no money, and some DIYs that can help your farm produce boom. So if this is the kind of video you're interested in, then you should stick around. And don't forget to do what? To subscribe. Okay? All right. So I'll be talking about 3 mistakes I made when starting my own farm. I made some drastic mistakes, but I want to share with you my top 3 mistakes that I made. And I would like you to learn so you don't make the same mistake that I made. Okay? All right, but before we start, I want you to share your mistakes with me in the comment section. If some mistakes you think were silly that you made, that you were not supposed to make when starting out your farm, please share with me in the comment section. I really want to read and, so that we can relate together. All right, so the first mistake I made was I quit my well-paying job to start up a farm. I quit my 9 to 5, no, scrap that, my 5 to 9 job. Yes, I was working and I thought, let me quit and go into farming after reading and downloading a lot of things online and feeding myself with how you can make 50 billion in 5 weeks and the rest and the rest. So I quit my job. That was the first mistake I made, and that's the top mistake. So if you are thinking of starting up a farm or going into farming full time, please keep your job, because there'll be a time you will need fund to first, manage the one you are growing. So this is how it works. If you have a job, a well-paying job currently, and you feel you want to tap into agriculture, you want to tap into farming, what you need to do is just do it part-time, because farming requires loads of money, to weed, to clear, to manage farm, you need money. So you need a source of income that will fuel your farm before the farm start paying you. So please don't quit your job till you see that your farm can pay you. That was the first mistake I made. So I didn't have someone that would tell me this. I had to quit my job, and it made the process tougher for me. So to make the process easier for you, don't quit. Just manage the two till one can fund you, then you can start, can quit and face it full time. So basically, don't quit your job to start up a farm. That was one of the mistakes I made. Okay. The second mistake I made was I didn't get enough information. I didn't gather enough knowledge before I start out the farm. Actually, I've seen how people do their farming, how farming is done. Actually, I've seen how farming is done. I've invested in some farms before quitting, actually. But I needed to, after reading, I just needed to start something. But I didn't acquire enough practical knowledge. Now, this is beyond you Google searching how to plant cucumber, how to plant this and that. It's beyond it. If you want to do something full time, you should gather practical knowledge on it. So I didn't gather enough practical knowledge before I started out. I just, read. The funny part is when you Google search some things, you feel like how to, like cucumber, for example. When I started cucumber, they said you can make 100% return on cucumber within 35-40 days. And nobody is telling you the things that you should do to make that return. They're just telling you, okay, you plant, you water, and the rest. But it's beyond that. So no blog actually stated it out for me. So I didn't get enough practical knowledge. So if you want to start out a farm, if you're thinking of starting up a farm, please, it's very important you get a practical knowledge. Very, 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 very important. You cannot miss it. You might have the funds, and if you don't have the knowledge, it's as if it's a waste. Okay? So literally, let me share this one story with you. When I started out, I did mostly vegetables, green vegetables. I did ugu, I did ewedu, I did cucumber, just to test the market to see how it's done. not really the market, because I didn't ask questions. I just planted after reading online. I planted, and when it was time to harvest, very funny. When it was time to harvest, I harvested and I took it to the market. You know, the vegetable you buy at the market, let's say the vegetable you buy for 15 naira at the market, like add like 10 of it. I'm not exaggerating right here. Add like 10 of it, and that was what I sold for 10 naira. 10 naira. So it's because I didn't have adequate knowledge on weather, what to plant, seasons, the crops to plant at these seasons, the crop not to plant. So it really, really affected me. And let me tell you something, I made huge loss, huge loss. I couldn't even get the money I used to get seed. You can imagine. So please, it's very important you gather enough knowledge, practical knowledge, like practical knowledge. So let's say you want to go into fish farming, and you've read it online that fish farming gives you thousands of money. No doubt. But fish farming will not give you thousands of money if you don't have practical knowledge on how it's done, how it's hatched, how to feed them. So you can stick yourself around with someone that is already into it to get the knowledge aspect of it. Do you understand? So that's easier. So just get people that does physical training, and you're good to go. It took me some time because I had to start learning like gradually from the farmers in my farm location. I had to start picking up, okay, this is how this is done. This is how this thing is done. This is, okay, Google said this, but this thing is wrong. You get, so get enough practical knowledge. So that was the second mistake I made. I didn't get enough practical knowledge before starting out. I got knowledge actually, but not practical. Do you understand? All right. And I want you to share with me in the comment section. I want to really know what you wish you would have done, your mistakes when you were starting out your own farm, so that we can talk it out together. All right. And finally, the third mistake I made when starting out my farm was I didn't negotiate a lot of things. Typically, I didn't negotiate a lot of things. I trust easily. You get, so if you're telling me this is maybe 2 naira, I can just take it like, okay, this is 2 naira without making my research. You get, so it's really cost me a lot of things. An acre of land for lease that I would have gotten for 10,000 naira, I paid 30,000 naira, and like that. This was a silly mistake I made. So if you're starting out, make inquiries from different people, know how these things are done before you start putting in your funds, your time, your energy. So it's very, very important. So if you are getting a land in your location and people are calling for you 100,000 just for lease, make inquiry. Just make friends with people around. How is this thing done? How much is this thing being sold for? How much is this thing? How do you do it here? Just relate with people. So it will save you some time, some money, and your energy. Do you understand? So those are the top 3 mistakes I made when starting out my farm. I quit my job, which was wrong for a start. I would have maintained the job, I know, till the farm start funding. Mistake number 1. Number 2, I didn't gather enough adequate practical knowledge. I didn't gather practical knowledge before starting out. And number 3, I didn't negotiate lots of things. So that's typical it. That's just what I want to share with you today. My top 3 mistakes I made. I hope you got value. I hope you learned 1 or 2 things, and I hope you put it in practice. Very, very important. So you won't make the mistakes that I made. If you do, kindly give this video a thumbs up, and please don't forget to subscribe. It's very, very important to keep the ministry moving. All right, everyone. Till I come your way next time. Bye-bye.